You're listening to the Abundance Attitude Podcast, where you will cultivate the mental attitude that unleashes the abundance already inside you. I'm your host, Leah Pearson, manifestation expert and personal development obsessed, and your spiritual mentor. Think of this podcast as your daily dose of personal development, mindset, and the place to develop the faith, belief, and certainty in yourself and manifesting your desires. If you're ready to not just learn manifestation, but master it and live a life of abundance, you're in the right place. With that being said, let's dive into this week's episode. Hello, abundant souls. Welcome to another episode of the Abundance Attitude Podcast. I'm your host, Leah. I'm sitting here in my room, just whimming this again. I kept telling myself I'm going to have notes when I record the podcast, but I find that I can just kind of like roll with it and bring you guys all the downloaded knowledge way better by just kind of seeing what comes to mind, okay? So in this episode, guys, this is my second episode, so, if you haven't listened to the first episode, go ahead and do it. The audio is not as good. I finally have a mic because I was like, if I'm going to do this for real, then I'm going to do this for real. All right. Going all in for you guys, but I talked about how and why I'm obsessed with manifestation, kind of my definition of manifestation, and why it kind of pretty much saved my life learning these metaphysical principles. And so that's why I wanted to start this, podcast, and why I started my business and why I have Abundant Soul Academy is because I know if there's anyone out there that feels or felt like I felt, it's actually 4 years ago instead of 3 years ago. It's 2017, and I just keep forgetting that it's actually 2021 now. Because it still seems like yesterday to me. It was really 2018 and 17, but anyways, none of that matters. But I talked about, why I'm obsessed with manifestation and why I want to help people learn these metaphysical principles and how reality is created and how much power we actually have with our energy and the science behind it, because like I said, it literally saved my life and gave me so much more hope and outlook and perspective on life in such a different way. And ever since then, I've just been able to feel and live and be just the version of me who I've always wanted to be, and I continue to grow. And I just feel so much better, guys. And so that's what I want for you. So before I ramble on too much, this episode is going to be about manifestation and where do I start, okay? Because there is a hella amount of information out there in regards to manifestation, personal development, mindset, and I kind of want to give you guys the deets of how you should start, because I was kind of confused too, right? Of course, I got into this, through The Secret, which a lot of people do, which is like a great gateway movie or book for people wanting to learn about manifestation and law of attraction. But it really only focuses on law of attraction when there are first of all, there's 12 plus laws that regulate how life works, how reality unfolds, right? So The Secret really focuses on the law of attraction, but from learning a deeper side of it, especially the scientific side, I have been able to intentionally use it way more. Okay, so where do I start if you're brand new, or even if you've known about manifestation for a long time? Maybe I can give you a new perspective on it and how I approach it. And so that's what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so manifestation, all right, 101 is when people hear, they just think of the law of attraction, which we know that the law of attraction is like energy attracts like energy. Like attracts like. Okay, now, what really brought this all together with, I'm going to go way deeper into a lot of this stuff in more episodes, because everything that I want to say that's coming to my mind right now, I could just make a 5-hour episode, but we don't want that. So, law of attraction. So the reason why that works, guys, is because there's something called the law of vibration. Okay, so if you're just starting out in manifestation, all you need to know, and you want to use law of attraction, all you need to know is like energy attracts like energy. Okay, that's all you literally need to know about law of attraction. Like attracts like. But the reason why energy attracts to energy is because the law of vibration, which states that everything in the entire universe, okay, including you, including the device you're listening this on, including the air, the water, your dog, the food we eat, has a vibrational frequency. And when we break those things down into the smallest thing that we could ever possibly break it down into, so you literally have atoms, molecules, you have molecules, atoms, and then protons, electrons, neutrons, and then even smaller than that, guys, is subatomic particles. And if you were to look at them underneath a microscope that was powerful enough to do that, you would see that they're vibrating. Okay, because energy is pretty much always moving, right? And so they're vibrating, and so the rate that they're vibrating is what they get their frequency from. So I'm sure in this whole manifestation world, you've seen, raise your frequency, raise your energy, raise your vibration. And I feel like that can be really confusing because they're kind of like buzzwords, and you're like, what the hell does raise your vibration mean? Well, essentially, you're sitting here listening to this episode right now, your body is currently vibrating at a certain frequency. Okay. And that frequency, it determines what you look like. It determines what you sound like. It determines how you feel, right? So everyone has their own unique frequency. And I call this your vibrational trademark. Okay. I don't know if I've coined that. I don't know if other people use that, but that's what I call it, your vibrational trademark. And based off your vibrational trademark is how your life is going to unfold via the law of attraction, right? And so manifestation is just your life unfolding, right? It's the phenomenon describing how your life unfolds based off that vibrational trademark. Okay, so if you're brand new to manifestation, like I said, like attracts like, law of attraction. That's all you need to know. And then you need to know that you have a unique vibrational trademark. It is your frequency, it is your energy. And based off that energy is what you are going to attract into your life. Okay. And I just feel like it makes more sense because you're like, okay, like attracts like, you can manifest. But if you don't really know that vibrational energetic part, you're just kind of like, it almost like falls flat to me, or just like confuses people. And that's why people think they can just like sit on a couch and visualize money, and then the money's going to come in, or the car is going to be in the driveway or whatever. But it doesn't work like that. Okay. And another thing to note, guys, about manifestation, this is not something like that just got made up in the past 10 years. I feel like in the past 10 years it's gotten way more popular, and people deem it as new age and stuff like that too. But this is why I take the scientific approach to it, because it's easier to understand and implement, but also you're going to see that it's been a thing forever, and you actually use it every single day of your life, whether you do it with intention or not, whether you consciously use the metaphysical principles or not, right? So let's say that you've never even heard about manifestation. You don't try to quote unquote manifest, because you don't have to try to manifest. Like I said, you're manifesting 24/7, 365, every single second of your life. You are actively attracting something based off that vibrational trademark that I just talked about. Okay, so it's been around forever. Whenever the universe, I don't even know how old they say the earth is now, or the universe or space or whatever, but whenever that was created, and whenever people first came around, they manifested their life. Okay, so this is why it's like so important to know this stuff. And another reason why I'm so passionate is because if you can understand that you are in control of your life, it just gives you so much more power. You can take your power back. I feel like you can get more hopeful. Now, sometimes a lot of people, when they first hear this, they kind of freak out because then they don't want to take responsibility for how their life unfolded, right? And I get that, because you're like, okay, if I'm manifesting all the time, like, am I going to have to think about my energy all the time? Which I can get into in other episodes, but because you don't, but this is why you do personal development. So you raise that vibration, and then you'll just be at a new set point and be able to attract from that set point, um, instead of the set point that you're attracting now, if that makes sense. Right? So manifestation's been literally since the dawn of time. Okay. And if you keep listening to me, you're going to know that I dive into the scientific side, like I said. And it's what made it all click for me. So hopefully that summed up a little bit about surface level. Where do I start manifestation? Know that you are actively attracting something all the time. Okay. So now let's say that you got that, you understand that, and now you're like, okay, but I want to manifest money. I want to manifest a new job. I want to manifest clients. I want to manifest a house, a car, whatever you want. How and where do I start? So basically, that is the first place you start, knowing exactly what you want. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes because everyone says that, but it's so true, right? Because if we don't know where we want to go, then we're just going to continue to go on some random path. We're going to we're going to manifest a random life, right? And so it kind of puts you on autopilot if you don't have a clear set goal of wanting to achieve, right? And you can have a grand, and I see this question a lot, like, can I manifest multiple things at once? Like, can I manifest like my big dream life, or do chunk it out or whatever? And I will tell you that you want to, let's just say a 5 year, not a plan, but like, in 5 years, I want to be a millionaire or whatever it is. But right now where you're at, that might sound really, really daunting, depending. And so I usually tell my clients and people that you want to chunk out your manifestation. So know that you want to be that millionaire, but then what is the next step that you can get to and manifest that will put you on track towards that millionaire manifestation, right? So it's super important to know what you want, because then you're going to be able to tune your energy, tune your vibrational trademark to what you want. Otherwise, you're just going to, like I said, go down this random path. Think of it this way. If I wanted to go to California, and I'm in Virginia right now, if I wanted to go to California, I would have to know that I want to go to California. Otherwise, I might start driving down to Florida instead of going west, right? If I had no idea where I wanted to go, how do I expect to drive in the right direction? So think of it that way. So you want to get really clear about what you want. And what I do in my Abundance Soul Academy actually is I take my clients through every area of your life, because I like to think of abundance as every area in your life, not just money. You want to have an abundance of health, friends, family, love, whatever it is, it's every area. So yeah, get super clear. What do you want in every single area of your life? You can start with just one area, or you can start, thinking about what you want maybe in the area that you want to improve the most. So a lot of people would take, finances or health, for example. I see people want to do that all the time. And like relationships, like everyone wants to find that partner that they can share life experiences with and be in love. And so start there. Just get clear about what you want. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't know what I want. And so I actually take people through an exercise, and this is what I do, because contrast brings clarity. And so the reason why, it's kind of like, to me, I kind of view it as the universe has given us this gift, and our higher self has given us this gift to let emotions guide you and see what in your life that you don't want, and you know what you don't want because you feel the emotions of not liking something. That to me is the indication that that is not serving you, that is not what your higher self is meant to have, and it's just like, not in your heart's desires. So let's just take money, for example, and you know that you want to manifest more money. So it's good to know that you are not happy with your current financial situation, right? Because unsatisfaction sparks desire. And that's why I'm saying that contrast brings clarity. So it's a gift. And if you can have the mindset shift of, oh, I don't want this in my life, instead of looking at it as like this negative thing and being mad at yourself that quote unquote you manifested this. Well, not even quote unquote, you literally manifested this. Um, Instead of just like getting down on yourself, which I know is so easy because I've done this in the past too, and I still have to work through this sometimes. Like, where in my energy did I manifest that? But if you can just look at that contrast and say, okay, what is the opposite? So if you know in your finances that, you're spending a ton, or if you want to just manifest more money, and then you just take an audit of that area of your life. So in finances, look where your money is going every month. You know, make sure you know what days that it's the bills are taken out, or what days you have to pay your bills, and what days you get paid, and really take an audit of that area. And it's like if you wanted to manifest health, look at your daily habits, right? And that is just the first step, okay? Because without getting too deep into it right now, we can't just change the physical environment. We actually have to change our subconscious identity, which I'm going to do an episode on. But the first step in manifestation is 100% looking at that area you want to improve, looking at the contrast to bring the clarity, knowing what you want. And I want you to get like real with yourself, right? I see a ton of people just, a lot of times people will just think that they want something. And a lot of times people will just say, I want this because they think that's all they can have. And really, it's not their heart's desires. It's not what you think you can have. It's what you truly want. And think big, right? Because there are no limitations in manifestation in reality. Okay, there's literally no limits. And so, again, you just want to make sure that you actually want it. It's more so like you don't want more money to be keeping up with the Joneses. Okay, you don't want the money to fill a void and to look, more, have more status or clout or something, right? Because that's going to come from your ego and not your higher self. Now, wanting more money in general is not necessarily ego, but just the intention behind your desire is something to look at as well, right? What essence do I want the money to fulfill? Well, do I want to, just like I said, have that status or clout or feel more secure, right? When you can feel secure at any point in your life, whether you have money or not. And I've actually like in my mastermind, I have a money mastermind. I actually told my clients this, like, if you don't feel secure now with the money you have, you're not going to feel secure with $1,000,000, right? You have to build that up before and make sure you have that essence before manifesting it, which could be a whole episode within itself. But looking at that intention behind what you want is super important too, because if I just want to keep up with the Joneses and make a bunch of money, that's not going to like drive me forward as much as, oh, I want to give my family like a really awesome vacation, or, I want to build my dream home, or I want to experience fancy foods and restaurants and travel and this, that, and the other. To me, that's way more higher self because I'm able to express myself through those things instead of just keeping up with the Joneses and I want this clout, that's not really going to be long-term fulfilling. And like I said, not as much as I'll say the word motivator, maybe just the drive to go after that money, like the heart's desire intention, the higher self intention is going to pull me forward more than an egotistical one, right? So know what you want by looking at the contrast in your life, in the area you want to improve, or every area, it doesn't matter. And then get clear on what you want and make sure that it's really what you want, and and your intention is going to be higher self, and that is going to be able to propel you forward towards the actions of getting it, right? So yes, so that's another thing, is you're going to have to take action, but I'm going to explain that in a little bit. So know what you want. So then the second thing to do in manifestation, know what you want, and then see what funky feelings and beliefs are coming up for you with that thing. So let's go back to the money example. If you want to manifest more money because you want to fully express yourself more through experiences, what in you is saying that can't or what that can't happen, right? And then you want to shift that belief from there on out of, I am someone that can manifest money to experience more things instead of identifying with someone that's not, right? So maybe your belief system is like, no, I'm not the type of person that, good things happen to, or I feel unworthy of this money, or I feel like it's greedy, or that it might be evil, all these things we hear about money. And it stems from childhood usually, because we just hear all these things about money and from our parents, maybe grandparents, because our grandparents lived in a completely different time. Than we are now. You hear it in movies, teachers, friends, parents, wherever we picked it up. You just want to get that on paper and ask yourself, is that the ultimate truth? Right? Now, this is why manifestation on the scientific side comes back in, because when you know how energy works and you know that there are no limitations, there are no limitations in the universe, then you know that it is possible, right? And find the evidence of, okay, I want to attract more money for experiences. Can I find someone either on the internet or in my life or wherever that attracts money for more experiences, right? And that should start giving you a little more physical evidence that the manifestation can happen. Okay, because what happens is when we find out what we want and we're like, okay, we want to manifest the money, the reason why people don't end up manifesting the money because they don't actually take a look at what they feel about money on a subconscious level. Because our subconscious mind is really what's going to do the manifestation. It's going to go out there and find the money for us, right? And so if you are consciously saying like, yeah, I want to manifest more money, but underneath you never take care of that belief system and figure out those funky feels that you're feeling about the money, you're going to have a much harder time attracting it. So it's just finding the evidence that someone else has done it in the world, and that starts giving you some evidence. And if you see someone else have what you want, that means it's possible for you too. Okay, because no one is more special than someone else, smarter than someone else, better, more worthy, more deserving, or has better skills or whatever. Maybe they've learned the better skills through doing whatever their field or however they're tracking the money longer than you. But it doesn't mean they're better, and that doesn't mean that there's less for you either. So having those expanders in your life and finding that evidence is super helpful, because it just starts giving you that like confidence boost and helps you work through the beliefs quicker, in my opinion, right? So let's say that you identify and believe that you can attract this money for the new experiences. Just ask yourself, what does somebody believe about money that does that currently, right? And maybe it's that money flows to them easily, that they feel really awesome and amazing and friendly with money, right? You just want to really allow your feelings to guide you, because your feelings and reactions will be able to tell your beliefs, right? I always say reactions and emotions are your beliefs in disguise. And so, yeah, like I said, get that on paper, know what you want, get your feelings and beliefs on paper, and see evidence to start to dismantle those beliefs, right? And just becoming aware of the belief anyways, like even if you like don't get it on paper, work through it, whatever, as long as you can just become aware of the belief, that can start to dismantle it. Because once you become aware of something, guys, then it's hard to not notice it. So notice how you feel when you spend money. How do you feel when you pay a bill? How do you feel when you're in the grocery store? How do you feel when you buy something nice for yourself? Like, are you feeling guilty? Are you feeling like a ping in your chest or throat or stomach? All those things are good to look at, because then you can start to change your belief system around it. And once you change your belief system around it, you're going to we're going to go back to that vibrational trademark. You're going to change your vibrational trademark, because everything is energy, right? So belief is energy, an emotion is energy, a thought is energy, money is energy, and we need all of that to align to the frequency of money. And you do that by looking at your feelings, and then the more you do it over time, you're going to change your vibrational trademark. Okay? So, you know what you want by looking at the contrast. You notice the feelings that you have around it. Okay? Now, again, this is for maybe people that are newer to manifestation, but this is like just a good place to start. Okay. And so then you do want to take action towards the thing. So back to the money portion, if you want to manifest, so yeah, back to the money. If you want to go manifest that, what can you start doing now to bring in more money, right? Because money is energy, and like attracts like, you're going to have to expel more energy to get more energy, right? Because you can only attract at your energetic set point, right? And so to get more energy, you have to expel more energy. So what can you start doing, right? What can you start learning? Can you put more passion and integrity and higher standards into the job or your business, right? Where can you find a little bit of energy leaks that you know that you can put more energy towards? And so that is the action portion, because not only that, like when I take action towards my manifestation, it still allows me to go back to working through the beliefs as well. Because if you don't take action, you can't really see like where you're at or if you're changing. Um, and so, yeah, what can you start learning? What can you start doing? How can you bring more passion to it, and integrity, and set a standard for yourself in that thing, right? But it's more so at the subconscious level. So if you say, no, I do want more money, I'm really good with money, blah, 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 but underneath the feeling after that positive statement is what's going to manifest. So especially if you're new to manifestation, it's not just thinking positive. Okay, it's really, really working through that belief system. And because our beliefs are what manifest at the subconscious level, and then it's also taking that action towards it, even if you feel like you still have blocks. Even if you feel like you still have those limiting beliefs, still take the action towards it, because you're always going to be working through beliefs to get to the next level anyways, right? It's this dance. It's this continuous dance of, what am I believing? What am I feeling? What do I want? Right? So I'm going to wrap this up to not make this super long, but in conclusion, to start manifestation, just know, one, you're always manifesting. You're always actively attracting something into your life. So it's really good to start paying attention, because life is your mirror, right? And when I learned this and integrated this, I was just like, holy shit, like it just got so much easier to see like where I needed to change that energetic set point or that vibrational trademark in my belief system. Okay. I've always been in the habit of having a super messy house and a messy car. And to me, I was like, this just means my mind is going all over the place, right? Because the house is almost like a picture of your mind. So start looking at that. Like, are you disorganized in your life and work? Are you, how is your relationships? Do you tend to attract the same type of friends or intimate partners, right? Because your circle of friends, your partners, your house, your money, everything, your health, is a reflection of your energy, right? So just start there, and don't judge yourself. Just be the gentle observer. Just be like, okay, this is what it is right now. This is the present moment, and it's okay, because view it as an opportunity to grow. View it as an opportunity to learn. View it as a game, guys. It's just like, okay, this is my energy now, but guess what? I have the ability and gift as a human being and a soul to change my mental attitude, right? And when you change that, you're going to change that energy, and then you're going to start attracting differently. And your life can really shift quickly depending, right? Sometimes it takes a little longer for the energy to rearrange, because reality right now, as you speak, as you're looking around yourself, your reality is based off your past energy, your past beliefs, your past thoughts, your past emotions has made up your current reality right now. So that's why I like to view it as not of like, oh, I'm this type of person and I have this type of energy, like I have this type of life, like, oh, like getting mad at myself. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's change this shit, right? Literally view it as a game and an opportunity, and it just makes it more fun and more lighthearted, because that is really the point too in manifestation, is just to make this as fun as possible, okay? While becoming the best version of you out there that has no limits, that has the mental attitude cultivating the abundance, right? Because the abundance is already inside you. We just have to unleash that. Okay, so I'm kind of getting off track now, but know what you want. Know that you're, oh, right. Sorry, guys. You're always actively attracting, so start paying attention to what you're attracting every day, right? Then, so it's kind of like taking an audit. Then, based off that contrast, once you take the audit, look at what you want to actually have based off that contrast. And then start to notice how you feel and believe about that certain thing, and start to shift the beliefs and find the evidence of someone already having the thing you want, and know that it's possible for you too. And then when you start changing that belief, because your beliefs and emotions, guys, are what drive you to take your actions, right? It's like your self-image, based off your self-image, you're going to take certain actions and have certain habits that are going to yield your results, aka manifestations. And so once you start changing that belief system, that energy, your actions are going to change. And once that happens, guys, that means your manifestations and results are going to change and you're attracting differently. Okay? So don't make it like too complicated if you're just starting out. Just start there. Just start looking at your life. What do you not like about it? View it as a mirror, view it as a game, be the gentle observer, and know that you can change it, and you're going to change it. And when you do, you're going to manifest differently. So know what you want, figure out what you believe about that, find the evidence that you can do it too, and then start taking action towards it, and do that every single day. And you will change your life. You will start to manifest, okay? And you can even practice. That's why a lot of people say, like, try a free coffee, try like an amazing parking space or something like that. So if you are like that brand new to this, totally try that. Be like, I'm going to manifest $20. I'm going to manifest a free coffee, whatever. And then you just build up that manifestation muscle, and seeing that your energy does attract your life, and you can just get better and better and better and better at it. Okay? So with that being said, I hope this cleared up some manifestation for you, especially if you're new, or if you're seasoned, maybe a different approach to it. And yeah, with that being said, if you liked this episode, if you got some value from it, please let me know via Instagram at The Abundance Attitude. Send me a message. I would love to know. And yeah, and tell me what you manifest. Okay? So I will talk to you guys soon, and catch you guys back here next week on the podcast. Thanks for listening to the Abundance Attitude podcast. Let me know if you liked this week's episode by leaving a review, or message me on Instagram. If you aren't following me, you can find me at The Abundance Attitude. To tune in each week, you can hit subscribe, and until next week's episode, I am wishing you all the abundance.